So we're coming into a kneeling position to start. And if it feels okay to be right on your heels, if there's no strain to your knees, do this. If that's not a friendly position to your knees, grab a block or a thick pillow, and you're going to separate your feet and you're just going to sit on that block. So you're kind of between your heels and your hips are elevated. That might feel better. Option 3 is the block right on top of your heels. It's just giving you a little bit more space here in the back of your legs. Okay. So this is called hero's pose, and it's actually a pose of meditation. We're going to start our practice this morning with a mudra, Abhaya mudra. And so that's your right hand up by your shoulder and left palm turned up on your lap. So you can just find a way to just relax your arms. So this hand up is a gesture of fearlessness. It's also fierce compassion for that which we are afraid of or resisting. So fearlessness. And this left hand, of course, is receptiveness, allowing, perhaps even embracing. So close your eyes, and I want you to just think of this first week of autumn. We're a week in. And this season is inviting us to just lean in with all of our senses, unafraid of change, embracing and accepting the changes. So take a few deep breaths here and just notice where your body is. You've just barely stepped across the threshold of a new season. Check in. Unafraid and ready to embrace change. Go ahead and shift your body forward and come down into child's pose. And here this block can serve as just a little pillow underneath your forehead on any of its levels. Your arms can be stretched out or down at your sides. Allow one more exhale. And then with hands right by the front of the knees, gently press yourself up. We'll come all the way up to be on our shins, hands on the hips. Inhale to lean backwards. And exhale back to that child's pose. And maybe stretch your arms out long. Let's do a little bit of a flow here. Drawing hands up to the hips, inhale. Hinging from the hips down to child's pose. There's that pillow for your head. Exhale. So in the spirit of this new season, this threshold we've just crossed, this practice will be about embracing change. And we'll do things a little differently. I'm going to try to shake it up a little bit and move our body in ways that we don't always do, or to find some different spaces. So staying on our knees right here, we'll take our block or our pillow over to the left side and put your hand on it. Extend your right leg. So that foot can be flat to give you a little stability. Right arm out. And then we're gonna just kind of tick-tock up into gate pose and over into a kneeling side plank. If that block limits your range of motion, try a lower side or lose it altogether. Find a flow with your beautiful autumn breath. I was saying before we started that I woke up this morning after a long weekend of being on Zoom and kind of resenting not being able to be out in beautiful nature. And the last thing I wanted to do was get in front of a computer. And so I got outside. I took my dog for a nice long morning walk. And it's amazing the shift. We can just change our scenery. Come up and over, pause with your hand on the block or the floor and stretch. Stretch that side body so long that you feel something new starting to open up in your ribs, your waist, and your hip. Good. Go ahead and bring that arm down to the side. Find your balance, lift the leg, and we'll catch the ankle, coming into a stretch for the hip flexor, the quad, the belly. Let out a sigh. Really nice, everybody. Let's come back to that side plank and we'll return to center, both knees underneath, and we'll just switch sides. So the block might be helpful, maybe not. Plant the foot and bring yourself to gate pose, Parigasana. So Parigasana, this is the gate pose, and the word actually the same as the word aparigraha, which means letting go. It's the non-attachment principle. So in this pose, we're literally opening the gate of attachment and we're letting something go. It could be a season, could even just be a simple breath. Could be just anything that you find yourself clinging to that causes constriction and dis-ease. Exaggerate the breath. As we come over, let's hold and let's create a little bit greater stretch here. Find something you don't always find in the side of your body. Maybe it's leaning backwards just a notch so that you feel this more across the belly. Maybe it's changing the arm position. And bring yourself back to center. Come onto your knees. And once again, we're just going to come down to this kneeling position. Remember the option to put something under your hips and separate your feet. And you can come up as high as you like to do this. All right, bring your fingertips behind you and lift up through the chest. This is a variation of supta or supine, lying down virasana. Open up across the collarbones. And if you're getting a green light here, put your palms on the earth. Give yourself a little bit more depth. And if you still have permission from your body, lift your hips a little. Not if that causes any tugging in your knees, stay seated. But breathe, everyone. Find some new space here. And let's release that. Really, really nice, everybody. Plant your hands in front of you. Tuck your toes and let's come up into downward facing dog. Oh, the glorious back of the body. Pedal your heels, shift your weight. Feel the feels. Let's all shake our heads yes and no. Let's bend and straighten the elbows. Just move through the body in down dog. On your next inhale, raise your right leg up high and bend your knee like you're just trying to kick yourself in the butt. So we're not opening the hip just yet. We're going to keep the hips squared. Pull that heel toward your hips the way we did when we were sitting down. So a little more passive stretch across the hip flexor and quad while you're pressing your left heel down. Now everybody press into your hands, drop your left heel, lift your right knee. And go ahead and come forward with that foot all the way to the top of the mat. Come down into low lunge and settle the knee to the ground. Let's point our toes backwards and find this kneeling lunge. The reason that we always pause right here is because the older I get, the longer it takes for me to feel this just release. Maybe you can relate, maybe not. Let's come up slowly, press onto the knee, inhale to a back bend. So similar to when we were kneeling down on the ground. We've got our back bend here. And then as we exhale, hands to the earth, shift back not only to a hamstring stretch, but if possible, over that heel. You can keep your block here so that your hips land on the block so you don't come all the way down. Let's do that again. Shifting forward, press on to the thigh. Inhale, back bend. And then exhale, glide backwards. Protecting that left knee. Always aware of those important joints. So if that's not a favorable position, you're just coming back here to your half split. Let this knee determine range of motion. So there's this sense of just asking the body for permission. Never forcing. Fearlessly open to change. And we're just going to pause right here. So again, use your props to bring you up out of that deep knee bend if that's helpful to you. And we'll walk the fingers forward. Straight over the legs. Breathe, everyone. And what an interesting sensation. One quadricep stretching, one hamstring. Just notice the change. And slowly rise up out of this. Plant your hands, tuck the toes, and we'll shake this right leg out. This time it gets to open to the side. Circle the ankle, open up the knee. And replace. How do you feel? A little lopsided? Let's raise the left leg, raise it as high as you can, and then bend the knees, keeping the hips squared. So you're trying to just kick your own butt. Then push into your hands. Drop your right heel as much as you can and lift your left knee. Just creating a nice, big, strong sensation. And then shifting forward, we'll settle that left foot at the top of the mat. Let's drop the knee. Give it some time. Really nice, everybody. How we doing so far in those hips, quads? Pressing up, take a deep breath, find a back bend. And on the exhale, grab your block if you need it or want it. Shift back. Listen to your body. See if you have permission to come all the way onto the heel. If not, go to where you can with a happy knee. Start to move with your breath in these opposites. The inhale, always an extension or an expansion. The exhale, a surrender, a drawing downward or inward. Let's go one more time. And pausing wherever your right knee is most comfortable for a forward fold. Stretching one quad, one hammy. Breathe and just notice where you feel this opposite sensation in your body. Pressing back up. Bring both knees underneath you. And this is the last time we'll be kneeling for a while. So give your knees what they need by way of padding. And again, sit on the ground if you need to. But let's just complete that sequence. Ubhaya Mudra. Unafraid. Fearless. Accepting. Coming up to our knees, pretending that I meant to do this. Take your left leg out. Come down onto the side and bind that heel. I know some of you probably did that on your own when I forgot it on the other side. Just pretend I meant to do that. I knew something was missing. All right, as we release everybody, turn to face the long edge of your mat. Bring your hands down, tuck your toes, and we're gonna step our feet out into a wide straddle. We're gonna do a motion here that's kind of, I think this is called compass. I'm not sure, but it takes its time. So we're gonna start by going toward, let's go toward our left foot. Come down into low lunge. And then in slow motion, the back foot drops to its outer edge. The front foot turns toward the side, and we sweep the arm up and over. Okay, so you're on the flat left foot, the outside of your right. Your left arm is over your ear. As that arm sweeps, let your hip drop just a little bit, a little more in that hip. And then come back around, find your low lunge, walk toward the center, lunge your right knee and do the same thing. Follow it around, drop to the outside edge of your left foot, turn your right toes, sweep the arm. Kind of like twister. Breathe here, everybody. Lower the hip, lower the arm. Come back up and over, and we'll repeat. Just follow it all the way around toward that left foot. Keep turning, sweep the arm. And lower. And lift. Walk through center all the way around towards your right. Keep going. Face the back wall. Arm over. Lower the hip. Come back up. Let's go one more time now that you're familiar with the action. You just got it. Lower the arm, lower the hip. Return and switch. Go over to your right. All the way around. That is juicy. Lower. And lift. And let's pause in the center. Bring your block onto its high side. Let your head rest on your block. Hands to the outer ankles. Exhale, upside down. You're welcome to change the level of that block if you like. To widen the feet. Breathe. Lifting up to a flat back, let's create a twist. So place the block or pillow right in front of your face, left hand on top, really tall spine, straight arm, open up toward the right side. Exaggerate the breath, friends. Fill up, empty out, and switch. Go each side one more time. Inhale, open up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, open. And exhale, lower. Turn toward the front of your mat. Let's bring both of our feet together in a forward fold. Heel toe just a little bit wider. Drop your head. Shake your head yes and no. Breathe here. And let's bring hands to shins, lifting halfway. Soften the knees. We'll reach the arms high. And then let the hands come down in front of the heart. Pause for a breath. Feet closer together. On your next inhale, step one foot back. Doesn't matter which one. We're just coming onto the toes. Fly your arms open. And then close the hands. Return to mountain. Opposite foot comes back. Touch the toes. Open the arms. And come back. And start to move with your breath. This is a kriya, which means a cleansing practice, called flight of the bird. And as you're opening your arms, I'd like to offer this short little one-liner. Very soon, the trees will be showing us how beautiful it is to let go. So as you move your arms open and close, just in your mind, picture one leaf gracefully letting go and beginning its flight. It's finally free from its restraint. It lets go gracefully and moves to the earth. If you'd like to change this at all, you can. Put the foot flat behind you, open the arms wider or lower or higher. Let your body flow like a leaf that has just become free. Its own dance. Pretty soon, it will be part of a great big, beautiful pile of leaves that kids will play in. Go one more time on each side. And then pause again, hands to heart, eyes closed, feel. Feel this. Feel this. And then let's come back to mountain pose. Grab a strap or something like a strap. It can be a belt or a band of some sort. And we're going to take a little bit of balance here. So the band will just come around the front of your, let's say, left shin, so that you have a little bit of a kind of a hold right there, and you can pull that foot up behind you. Let's just start right there. Just balancing with a gentle quadricep stretch. If your band is long enough, you can bring it up over the shoulders. Mine's super long, so I can show you what that looks like. Like that. And kind of give a little tug. That knee starts to lift behind you. And pause right there. Another option is to lift the arms up high. And join the hands Join both of the hands on one section of band. Eyes on one point. Stretching the quadricep, hip flexor, and belly with breath. Clear up into the shoulders if you're lifting. And let's release the band. Just let it fall to the floor. Take that same leg behind you. High lunge. And we'll flow with our breath. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. I always enjoy the feeling of movement after you've held a stretch. You might have been holding your breath. You might have just found some new space, new awareness in a specific place. And so I just feel like movement kind of helps us spread that around. The next time your hands come down, we're going to let them fall to the floor or a block, and the back foot lifts. You're using the block is under your right hand. We're going to open up into half moon, realizing that right now it's a new moon. The pose is half moon. One more option here to bend the knee and reach the hand toward this ankle. May or may not touch. There's another look at quads, hip flexors, and belly, front of the body. Breathe. Notice. Unafraid. Embracing change. And we'll release slowly back to forward fold. Your legs are going to feel different. Shake them out. Come up onto the tippy toes, bend your knees, and straighten. Just coming as low as your knees will allow. Might be rocking onto your toes and back into your heels. Good, and then on flat feet, let's lift. Bring the strap with you. Rising to mountain. Okay, second side. So the strap goes around the right shin. Take a moment to kind of figure out the tension on the band. Since I went overhead last time, I'll get ready for that. You can stay low, hands down here. So finding balance first. Just pausing. Eyes on one point, flat foot beneath us. And then if you're pulling the bands over the shoulders, just take your time letting that knee navigate behind you. And perhaps lift up if you have a long band. Everybody breathe here. Wherever you end up, perfect. It's where you're meant to be today. Given your props and your body's edges, here we are. Let's slowly, slowly release. With a woo, set the band aside. We'll go ahead and lower the fingers to the floor. I'm going to place my left hand on a block, opening into half moon. I like to take the block kind of behind me a little bit, a little cheat. You are welcome to reach toward your ankle, grab it if it's available. Half moon. Another look at quadriceps, hip flexors, and belly. Let's release. Lower down to forward fold with a big ah. Bend and straighten. Just notice what you're creating here, what you're aware of here. Mind and body working together. Let's come back to our knees, using props if you like, returning to our primary position, our hero, Abhaya Mudra. Pause. Breathe. Our brain is hardwired to push against any change. We like our comfort zone. We like the familiar. So I've been purposely moving us into uncomfortable and different positions, especially positions of vulnerability and opening the front of the body to invite us to fearlessly be with change. So we're going to take some stretches here as we near the end of our class that are designed now to calm the nervous system, since I purposely uncalmed it. So let's take a seat. You can be on your block or a cushion if that feels good to you. And we're going to just introduce ourselves to our vagus nerve, which is our rest and digest nerve. So you're going to take two thumbs and come up into the base of your skull, the occiput. So right in the middle, there's a bump, a little ridge, but on both sides of that, you can find two more ridges. And I want you to just massage those two ridges with your thumbs. These are, right under these is the opening where the vagus nerve travels from the brainstem out to the body. This is the beginning of this wandering nerve. So give yourself a nice little massage there. And then tilt your head forward, let your fingers rest on your legs. Let's start to create half circles. Ear to one shoulder, ear to the opposite shoulder. Bringing the head up, the hands again now come to the back of the neck, and we're just going to massage the muscles up and down the back of the neck. The place we all hold tension, come around to the sides. This large muscle here, maybe even gently pinch the muscle that comes down toward collarbones and up by the ears. Just create a little massage and relaxing sensation here. Bring your fingers into that little dent right below the ear. That little dent right underneath your earlobes, and just give a little bit of gentle pressure there. You'll feel the back of your jawbone. And just trace that down with your fingers and start to pinch down your jawline. Just gentle pinches on the jawline. And then with fingers, we're just going to tap our cheeks super light. Our upper lip, our lower lip, up to our temples, across our forehead. Maybe pinch your eyebrows. And tap again down. Tap your chest, fingers tapping across the heart space. All of these methods, a way to calm the nervous system by engaging the vagus nerve. And then just place your hands over your heart for a second here. Just pause, little pressure. Another gesture that creates a calming sensation for the nervous system. Use any of those little tools all by themselves the next time you feel yourself getting anxious. All right, good. Let's release our hands and find the strap again. Just move up into shoulders before we lie down on the floor for our final stretches. So take your band as wide as you need to in order to get up and over. And we'll do a few of those shoulder flossing exercises. Just get as wide as you need to so there's no pain, no strain. If you can come in a little shorter, that will give you a little more sensation. Good, then hold the band behind you and just let it hover up and down a few inches. Feel the way your body kind of resists, but then gives in. Pause in the place that seems to be the most resistant and just gently rotate your rib cage. Just asking permission. Let the band fall behind you, shoulders easy, right hand to the floor, left arm up and over. Again, finding space in that side body, rib cage, the waist, maybe the shoulder back a bit to find some belly stretch. And switch up and over. So good. And release. Come down to the floor and let's lay on our left side. I'm going to be on my left elbow, legs out to the right, and we're just going to take our foot into our hand again, another angle of quad stretch. Bottom leg can extend out to give you a little more stability. I'm just going to kick your foot into your hand. Gentler way to get into that bow pose or dancer's pose, just one side. Start to heel toe the leg underneath you so that it's a little more straight. Slide the arm out so that you're lying flat on that side. And then roll onto your back. The knee comes to chest. Give it a squeeze. And then slowly unfold the leg toward the ceiling. Flex and point. Circle the ankle. And then take that leg straight down to match the other. Let's bring the opposite leg in, give it a nice tight squeeze, a little release through the low back. Oh, let yourself sigh. Come on, exhale. We made it through Monday's yoga. Woo. Slowly lift. Flex and point, circle the ankle. As this knee bends, we'll place our hands on the shin and we're just going to roll over to our opposite sides. The arm glides up by the ear, the foot comes back. heel close to your hip. And you can start to walk that bottom leg forward, press up to forearm, and take that foot back a little further. Deep, slow breaths here, everybody. And we'll release. Let's return to our backs. We'll bend our knees. And we're going to come into bridge pose, and you are welcome to use one of your props underneath your hips to make this a gentle or restorative bridge pose. For a little change today, you can bring your heels closer to your body. And if your fingers easily can grab your ankles, you can hold there. Just a little change, a little different sensation. You can lift or stay supported. But everybody breathe. Breathe into some new place in your body where you haven't noticed breath before. When people are new to yoga, they think it's weird when we say breathe into your knees or your feet or your eyebrows. But if you try it, you actually can feel sensation in body parts as you direct your attention there with breath. Try it on. Breathe into your left ankle, or your right earlobe, your left kidney. Let your attention wander through the body as you breathe. If your hips are elevated, let's take a couple more breaths with the legs extended. If your hips aren't elevated, just extend your body down into lying on your back. Let there be a gentle release in the same muscles we've been stretching. Breathe in, breathe out with a sigh. And when you are ready, my friends, start to come into final rest. Give yourself over to Shavasana. Use any props you'd like to help you be more comfortable as you come into stillness. As you rest, I invite you to continue that little process of being aware of a body part as you take in a breath. Let your mind stay busy following breath through your body. As background, I'm going to share with you a poem by John O'Donohue called The Power of Listening. When you take the time to draw on your listening imagination, you will begin to hear this gentle voice at the heart of your life. It is deeper and surer than all the other voices of disappointment, unease, self-criticism, and bleakness. All holiness is about learning to hear the voice of your own soul. It is always there. And the more deeply you learn to listen, the greater surprises and discoveries that will unfold. To enter into the gentleness of your own soul changes the tone and quality of your life. Your life is no longer consumed by hunger for the next event, experience, or achievement. You learn to come down from the treadmill and walk on the earth. You gain a new respect for yourself and others, and you learn to see how wonderfully precious this one life is. You learn to see how wonderfully precious this one life is. You begin to see through the enchanting veils of illusion that you had taken for reality. You no longer squander yourself on things and situations that deplete your essence. You know that your true source is not outside you. Your soul is your true source, and a new energy and passion awakens in you. Find the place where this new passion and energy awakens within you. Maybe you feel that somewhere near your heart, or in your gut, or in your head or throat. Where do you feel this new energy awakening within you, this communion with your own soul? Bring that with you as you emerge from rest and return to a seat, preparing to enter the rest of your day. I invite us to close this practice the way we opened this practice, with Abhaya Mudra. Right hand by the shoulder, thumb tight to the rest of the fingers, left hand draping forward, almost as if just dripping honey off your fingertips. A gesture of fierce compassion for that which we are afraid of, the change, the fearlessness, and receptivity. Walking across the threshold of the unknown, fearless and open. Let's join our hands together in front of our heart, our fearless side and our open and gentle, receptive side. Gently press the hands together and towards your heart, bowing to yourself, to those yogis that are sharing this practice today, to these practices. Just gratitude for all that is. Namaste.